Hello and welcome to Hotline 4 as the Soviet Union. However, as you might be able to tell from the thumbnail slash title of this playthrough, we have already done a Soviet Union playthrough, but we're doing another one with a different approach. Now, there are multiple ways of playing the Soviet Union in the new No Step Back DLC. We're going to stick to one of the communist paths, but we're not going to do the center, which is what we did last time, with Stalin, also with historical focuses on AI turned off, which this time we've got those on. Watch the last series if you want to see how that turned out with them off. So we have the choice of the center, the left opposition, or the right opposition when we're doing the communist paths. In the non-communist path, you have the Tsarist path and the sort of more fascist Tsarist path and that kind of stuff. I believe you may have a democratic path, but I'm not 100% sure. However, we are going to go, I believe, let's see. We're going to go Bukharin. And we're going to start the Soviet Civil War, I believe. Now, the big thing, I think you can do this under Bukharin as well, right? Yeah, you need left or right opposition. What we're going to be doing is the Supreme Soviet. Now, actually, wait, we could do that with Trotsky as well. Maybe I haven't fully decided. But the end goal is the Supreme Soviet, in which we strengthen the trade unions, the People's Revolution, and finally having a single person represent an entire country is inherently undemocratic and therefore counter-revolutionary. Instead, we will do away with such cultish behavior and declare that our union will forever be represented by the collective will of the people assembled in the Supreme Soviet. I try to, like, look, let's see, the trade union as labor organizer, paced industrialization, power of the peasantry. We don't get to go Omega Stalin, which is what we had hoped to do last time, but it's not going to work. Code for the Spanish, code support for the Spanish POUM. This allows us to support the, the anarchists, right? Oh, no, sorry, making it a communist uprising. Oh, it's the anarcho-communists. Cool. I think, wait, is it? No, it's not. Number of Spanish divisions will come to aid us in our own civil war. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to be going with the right opposition because that sounds interesting. Trotsky, I feel like, is a very standard and easy choice for a lot of people's second playthrough. So yeah, we're going to be doing the path of Marxism-Leninism. Now, in terms of what we do first, though, and by the way, like, just with some of that discussion about the plan for the playthrough out of the way, the other thing I want to talk about in terms of like setting stuff, everything is default, everything is on regular. The other big thing is that I don't play this game in like a very meta way. I don't look up the best strategies and the best meta and stuff like that. I know some of the best strategies for some things that, at least the stuff that I guess was apt when I used to play this game even more religiously than I already do. But yeah, you won't see me running a single truck down into Berlin to take it over, that kind of stuff. Like, it's not going to be that kind of playthrough. It's going to be a more history-oriented playthrough. I'm going to be ranting a lot and raving, as I've already done for the first 4 or 5 minutes of this video, and talking about every sort of like digression that I can think of in terms of history, and also, I guess, getting more like immersed in what's happening. That being said, let's do the standard opening. And start building civilian factories. Now, I don't know when or where the Civil War front lines will be, like how they're going to break out. And it kind of is a bit cheesy to build in such a way that you're sort of depriving your enemy of factories and resources, as if you like you know how things are going to go. Like if you're trying to do an anarchist playthrough in Spain, you're building all your stuff in the northeast, in Catalonia, because that is the anarchist stronghold. I am gonna do industry and stuff first, though. We will very soon have Stalin start wilding out and start getting wacky with his paranoia. We need to... I don't know if, like, can you kind of, like, circumvent the paranoia system? Or not circumvent, but can you kind of get ahead of it if you start the civil war very early? Because that sounds like that would be very, very desirable. In terms of our armies, I don't know how much we're gonna be messing with them. I do know that we're gonna be setting up for the border conflict with Japan. Which I believe it's like specifically here that you need troops. Let's put Govorov in charge. Let's just do this, I guess. And let's speed up. Oh yeah, we should actually create some armies, because we should get some army experience. We'll call this the Central Asia, or Asian Theater, I guess. And in this playthrough, I will be using the ER spelling, I guess, because that's what I ended up with. We'll set up one army against Romania. We'll set up one army against Poland. This will be the... Let's keep it simple. First army. We'll give them more evocative names as we get deeper into the game. Second army will be led by... So Zhukov is going to be fighting in the Spanish Civil War. So this army will be led by Rokossovsky. We don't know really who's going to get purged. I do know a couple who will get purged no matter what because of the Great Purge, if that happens. Our goal will be to get ahead of that and stop that from even happening. I've forgotten. How do you see the full and total overview of all of your military troops in your nation? I know for a fact that there is a button to see them all. Oh well, I just wanted to, like, select every single tank, essentially. Infrastructure effort. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different from what I did last time, and this is kind of what I do most of the time. I'm going to build more towards having, like, instead of having armies and then having the tank corps and division stuff like be underneath an army and stuff like that. I'm just going to create a tank army or like a special forces army that's going to have traits specifically for that with the field marshals. I didn't do it last time because last time I was kind of prepared for the fact that I couldn't really build any of my generals up for, you know, one purpose because Stalin was going to get to them. This time, though, I don't think that's going to be happening. At least I hope not. Ethiopia has capitulated to the Italians. Italians finally get a military victory. Turkey seizes control of the Bosphorus, they're gonna do historical stuff, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to stop them, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna mobilize the armed forces immediately in order to hope that they give us a compromise. If not, we're not gonna go to war with Turkey. Not this early. I don't think that's a good idea. Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. This is the first corps. So I'm gonna have smaller units be corps and be using Roman numerals. This is the first corps, the Leningrad Corps. I'm gonna put the NKVD here, or the Cheka divisions inside of the Leningrad Corps. Turkey compromised on the remilitarization of the Straits. Nice. After much negotiation, the Turkish government has decided to take control of the Straits while still permitting free access to all nations bordering the Black Sea. The ironclad proposal provided by Turkey leaves little room for protest and has already been hastily approved by Bulgaria and Romania, which ultimately ties our hands on the matter. Well, that's pretty good. That was the process towards the civil war in the Soviet Union. Yeah, we don't have to do this immediately. Though I suppose getting the civil war out of the way as early as possible might be a good idea. Right? Let's do this. Improve our mobilization speed and all that stuff. Let's just move all of our tanks to Moscow. Let's create another army here. I thought I put Vatutin in charge of the Romanian one. Well, Vatutin, you will be in charge. It's hardly even an army, but I guess we'll call it the Baltic Army. Second army. Oh, well, this is the second army. Which one is the first army? First army is Romania, gotcha. Second army, then this is the third army. Let's make sure we swap them to the icon that I tend to use for armies. Usually you'll be able to tell that it's an army by the fact that it has 24 units in it. Oh, of course, I'm gonna do this in the first episode because you've now seen me using the NATO counters for a little bit. Let's swap them over towards the default. And then whenever where is it? Game, right? Yeah, like, let me know what you prefer. I vastly prefer the NATO counters, but I will do whatever is more watchable because, I mean, I'm both playing this for fun and also trying to produce watchable content. You kind of wish, you know what, let's create a Baltic army group instead. And have Baltic corps. So this is not the third army, this is the second corps. And I'm not even going to name them Baltic stuff. I'm just going to have them be corps. And we'll create a Baltic army group. The reason for that is that we can't really set up one army on the entirety of the Baltic border here, or the Baltic borders. Joseph Stalin concerned about factionalism. In a recent session of the Central Committee, Comrade Joseph Stalin noted the growing factionalism inside the party. While all members of the committee were quick to assure him of their full and unconditional support, this has apparently done very little to ease his concerns. According to Comrade Joseph Stalin, we must always be vigilant for saboteurs and wreckers who plot against the state, in whatever position they may be. His news comes as a bit of a surprise to many in the party who believe that the threat of a party split ended with Trotsky's exile. Okay, here begins the paranoia mechanic. New mechanic introduced in No Step Back. Forged satisfactory production reports is our first way of dealing with it. We'll also get events. When the mod... Well, actually, it probably is updated, but I was about to say, when the mod for, like, more icons and stuff like that is updated, I will probably be enabling that stat. Because it makes the game so much more playable, in my opinion, because you can have way more unique theater icons. And it makes it a lot easier to tell at a glance what everything is. Like, each icon will have a number on it, stuff like that, so that you can always tell, like, that's the first core, that's the second core, that kind of stuff. And it also helps a lot with our immersion and kind of like the roleplay feel. I'll put you under the special forces here. Like, this is just a dreadfully low amount of icons. I believe there's, like, at least 10 times as many in the Division icons pack that I'm talking about. But they're all NATO counters. Allied cohesion first over the Cossack units. Even though we did get kind of owned in the last playthrough by cavalry in a little bit. Or a little... some of it was cavalry, at least. Because when the enemy... Like, cavalry is kind of useless until the enemy breaks down. And if the enemy breaks down, you can use cavalry to great effect to very quickly seize terrain. And also perform encirclements, especially in terrain that is conducive to such operations. Let's do the path of Marxism-Leninism so that we can start the Civil War whenever we want. Or begin the path to it. I think we should start the path towards the Civil War as soon as possible, honestly. We don't want Stalin to be purging anyone right now. I wonder who the NKVD will side with. Special Forces, Soviet Theater, this is... Who are you? You are... Far East. Let's just merge all the NKVD units into one, so that I don't have to look at them, because they are hot garbage. And then have them be I guess, like, rear guards and stuff like that. Gonna put someone in charge of them. Someone who is completely and utterly max rater, which... wait, is he German? We're gonna put someone who is completely and utterly... like, uninspiring and bland in charge.
Так точно. Жду приказа.
Army 1, Army 2, Army 3. Who's going to be in charge of it? Well, none other than not Zhukov. I almost decided I was going to put Zhukov in charge, and then I remembered that Zhukov is going to Spain whenever we can.
Слушаю. Ройсь.
In fact, we may as well just prep that, right?
Ройсь.
We're going to be sending... probably don't need as many tanks as I sent last time, but we are going to be sending mountain units. Because our mountain divisions are our strongest divisions, and
Внимание.
we can only send a limited amount of them. And our mountain divisions are going to be good in Spain.
Так точно. Готов выдвигаться. Слушаю. Ройсь.
Let's begin the path down the right opposition. As Nikolai Bukharin. Stalin's paranoid leadership is destroying this country. Shift to mass collectivizing and harsh industrialization even more so. Something must be done, and soon. The ones who can lead this country to glory, heal the wounds caused by mismanagement, and restore the economy are the members of the right opposition, led by Bukharin. He can't he, like, start... yeah, back to the NEP. He can go back to Lenin's new economic policy. Before we can build a socialist society, you must create the fundamentals and further develop our economy. In the early years of the revolution, we instituted the new economic policy which allowed free market mechanics to grow the economy. This policy was quickly reversed long before it could bear fruit. Now that we are back in charge, we can restart this aborted process towards a better society. I don't think that's, like, necessarily productive in a situation such as the one posed by the Soviet Union. Not that, like liberalizing the economy, if the goal is socialism, seems like a backward strategy. I understand why Lenin did it, but to return to it after it's kind of like over seems like a strange thing to do.
Я готов.
Gonna give them a unique icon, and I'm gonna put someone who's good with cavalry in charge. Timoshenko.
Смирно. Так точно.
Every time I look around, I find new troops.
Смирно.
We're probably gonna have multiple cavalry corps.
Смирно. Внимание. Готов. Жду приказа.
Let's do this. First Cossacks and second Cossacks. So all the other corps are numbered 1 through whatever. The Cossacks will keep as like on a unique numbering scale. So like even though some of these corps that we'll be creating will be mountain corps and some will be Cheka corps and stuff like that. Well, not the Cheka or the NKVD. We'll just keep them as NKVD. But some of them will be unique. Those corps will all be numbered in the same numbering scale, even though they have different different compositions.
Готов. Готов выдвигаться.
We might set up like a Western NKVD or a Western Checker course and Eastern one, because there's an argument to be made
Внимание!
for sending weak troops to hold the borders there. You are actually way too good of a general to waste on just holding a border. Zakharov, you will be the second checker.
Жду приказа. Брось!
Oops, no, you will be the first checker. Okay. The need for policy change, reverse the collectivization process. So we have to do whatever, like this stuff is not a focus at the moment. Okay, we'll come to aid us in our current, in our own civil war. I strongly doubt they're gonna win. Well, actually, no, wait. If they become... No, I don't know if they're gonna win. But, we have to focus on the stuff that is gonna give us, oh, crap, yeah, this is all gonna increase paranoia as well. We have to focus on the stuff that's gonna give us, like, advantages in the actual civil war. We have to focus on the immediate. Left opposition organizes the railway workers and the wreckers. We here get military support and party members and the NKVD. Make some of the NKVD forces join your cause. Unlocks decision to expand the NKVD military branch. Increases the chance of a successful assassination attempt on Stalin. Ooh. Well, it's gonna reduce his paranoia, so that's good.
Внимание! Готов.
We have a lot of political power, but that's not gonna... that is not gonna last. The threat of yet another civil war is upon us. We must prepare ourselves for the worst, and ensure control of as much of the country and the armed forces as possible. But we must also be careful and avoid drawing too much attention, or Joseph Stalin might force our hand before we are ready. We have 10% civil war support. 0% popular support. Popular support affects Joseph Stalin's surrender level, and it adds partisan units during the war. There's a daily 20% risk of Stalin starting a war when paranoia is over 90%. Oh crap, okay. Select a base for your uprising by clicking on the headquarters icons on the map. So, where will we start our uprising? Up in Arkhangelsk. We can set it up in the Urals in Ufa. We can set it up way down in Tashkent. I don't think that's good. In Omsk. Some of these cost more, some of them cost less. Chita. So let's see. Sibir is traditionally an anti-Stalinist and anti-Bolshevik stronghold. The region may be underdeveloped, but should be relatively easy to win over to our cause. Public support for our opposition increased by 1%. Support for the opposition in the armed forces will increase by 2%. I feel like Ufa might be best. Tashkent. Building our base in the Great Steppe region means having our backs safe. It will mean a long march to reach Moscow, but most of the fighting would be to our front. Also, it should be relatively easy to gain support in this region. Omsk means well placed in western Siberia, also bordering the Urals region and the Great Steppe. Although slightly underdeveloped, it should be relatively easy to build a good solid base for an uprising here, and then commence the march to Moscow. Arkhangelsk is good because of waging a war from here will be somewhat difficult unless something is done to alleviate that. Okay, it's telling us, hey, you should probably build up stuff in Arkhangelsk if you want to start there. Urals have the advantage of being easily defended, and setting our base here also allows us to spread our influence into both Siberia and the northern region, as well as down south into the Great Steppe area, giving us many different options. I feel like I want to do this one, even though it kind of puts us smack dab in the middle of everything and in a very risky position. The Urals will... we can easily set up, like, factories in the Urals as well, I think. And I believe they have resources. Yeah. They got oil, they got steel, they got chromium. Not that we're going to be building tanks. The steel and the oil is the big deal. Aluminium, how far away is that? Down southeast. We can get to the aluminium. Let's do Ufa. Is that Bukharin or is that Trotsky? Am I calling him Bukharin and not Bakunin? I have been calling him Bukharin this entire time. No, it is Bukharin. Wait, Bakunin is the other guy. Bakunin is the anarchist. Bukharin is the one we're talking about. Cool. I keep mixing them up in my head. Norwegian brain bad.
Слушаю. Я готов. Мирно.
Oh no, you guys aren't Cossacks.
Готов.
You guys are regular army troops.
Готов.
I thought it said NKVD PogChamp. Okay, but we are past the 30-minute mark, so I want to say, before I go, if you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, please hit the like button, it helps out a great deal. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, tips, and historical tidbits to share, leave them in the comments. I read all of the comments and the music is loud. I read all of the comments. If you're looking for the Discord community, the link is in the description down below. If you're looking for my Twitch channel where I live stream, the link is also there. And if you're looking for my Patreon, do not click that link because I neglect my patrons. Also, you can find my Twitter where I talk about politics and history and generally just dumb shit, so don't click on that link either. And I think that's about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.